This is Maria Ricame Di Pablo from BPED 3A. In this video, I will discuss to you the legal and ethical use of technology. This chapter will enlighten you on the proper and ethical use of software and other school technologies. Technology and software issues are also elaborated in order for you to be aware and be guided in doing the right thing and avoiding the unacceptable acts that may lead you to committing mistakes or possible software and technology crimes that are against the law. Ethical use of school technology. When we were young, our parents used to teach us the right behavior and etiquette. Whenever we are in the church, we behave. We don't eat, drink, or talk. The same with the use of school technologies. Both teachers and students must recognize and observe the ethical use of school technologies to achieve rightfully the main purpose of technology. So we have here the ethics for computer users. First, use the computer to help people and not to do harm. Second, use your own assigned computer unit and not to interfere with others' work. Third, use the computer using your own files and not to use others' files. Fourth, use the computer to share information and not to steal others' information. Fifth, use the computer to spread truthful information and not to do character assassination. Sixth, use software that are original and legal and not pirated. Seven, use others' computer resources with permission and not to duplicate it without authorization. Eight, use your own work and not the work of others. 9. Use the computer that shows respect and consideration for other people and not to do cyberbullying. And lastly, create programs for software having in mind its social impact and not for self-interest. So we have here the ethical issues in technology and software. First, unauthorized access and use of hardware, software, network, and computer files. There are many cases when we want some things to be kept private and would not allow others to use it, such as diaries, messages on our mobile phone, emails, and many others. Same is true when it comes to accessing of computer units and other hardware devices, software, network, and most of all, computer files. If somebody would use anybody's computer and files without permission from the owner, that is called unauthorized access. A person who tries to access a computer or network illegally to access data and commit malicious acts like identity theft is called the cracker or hacker. So we are advised most of the time to protect our computer unit, mobile phones gadgets, and files by providing a password so no one can get into it and block them from accessing and using our gadgets and files. So I have here the tips in carefully creating a password. So first, use at least 8 characters. Use a combination of upper and lowercase letters, words, numbers, and special characters. Use joined words together. Add one or more numbers at the beginning, middle, and end of a word. Use words from other languages. Use also a password that can be remembered easily. Select a password that can be entered easily without looking at the keyboard. Do not leave written copies of your passwords anywhere. And do not share your password to anyone. So next, number 2, hardware theft and vandalism. Hardware theft and vandalism are some of the security challenges encountered by school administrators and teachers. So when we say computer theft, It is the stealing of hardware and its devices, while computer vandalism is the act of damaging or breaking the hardware, such as cutting the cables and wires, smashing the computer and its devices, and deleting of software or computer files. To prevent hardware theft and vandalism, security system and precautionary measures are employed in schools such as setting up of security cameras, installing locks in computer units, devices, and its wires to keep this in place. The best precautionary measure in keeping the hardware safe is to have full awareness on its security by not leaving it anywhere and unattended. Alright, so some issues in technology and software will be discussed by the next. So that will be all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Aristide Payas and today we are going to tackle about the ethical issues in technology and software. Software thief. So what is software thief? Software piracy is a form of software thief. This happens when a person copies illegally copyrighted software for personal or business use. When a person purchases software, he or she actually purchases the right to use the software but does not own the software. Software that has been purchased has with it a software license which provides conditions for its use. These conditions must first be agreed upon by the user prior to its use. An End-User License Agreement or EOLA or Single User License Agreement is the common type of license included in software packages purchased by an individual. Some of the conditions are: user may install the software on only one computer. Next, users are prohibited to install the software on a network, school computer lab network. Next, computer users may make one copy for backup purposes. And lastly, users are prohibited to give copies to friends and colleagues. Schools enforce policies regarding the installation and use of computer software to make sure that the conditions that have agreed upon are strictly monitored and followed. To make these policies known to all, it would be better if teachers are given orientation by the academic heads, after which teacher orient their students regarding the use of technologies with its software to prevent such violations. So we have here the table of which includes type of license, characteristics, and use in school. So first one is single user. The characteristics of this is software can be installed only in one computer. Some license agreements allow user to install software on one desktop to computer and one notebook computer. Next, use when a school needs only a few copies of a particular software, commonly found in small schools and when purchasing specialized software programs. Next one is multiple user. Characteristics. Software can be installed on a set number of computers, typically 5, 10, 50, or more. Cost varies based on number of computers used in school. Cost-effective method to install software on more than one computer, most commonly used in schools. Next one is network license. Characteristics. Software is installed on the school network. The license will specify and the software will control a specific number of simultaneous users such as 50, 100, 250, or 500. Cost varies based on numbers of computers used in school. Cost-effective method of allowing students and teachers throughout the school to have access to an application software program. As school continues to install networks, network licenses are becoming more common. Next one is community license. Characteristics. Frequently used with software distributed on CDs or DVDs. Any number of programs can be purchased from their Macintosh or PC platforms. used in school. Very cost-effective method for school district to purchase large quantities of software. Savings can be significant over individual CD or DVD pricing. Next one is information theft. So what is information theft? Information theft is a computer crime when one deliberately steals information for purposes of studying how to compete with other organizations or companies. Getting confidential information about school administrators, academic officials, teachers, staff, and students without legal authorization is considered as information theft. To prevent access of information through the user's computers and networks, schools implement the use of encryption. Encryption is a process of converting readable data to unreadable one. An encryption key is needed to enable a person to convert it back in readable form. A person who illegally accesses the information would only see characters that do not contain any meaning. And that would be all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Tiffany Alga, opinion of BP3A, and now for the continuation of the ethical issues in technology and software is the fifth and last one, the malicious acts in software. So the following malicious acts are commonly experienced in emails, cell phones, instant or text messaging devices, and blogs. So the first one here is the spam. It is an unwanted message being received through emails, discussion boards, text messaging devices, and others. Truly annoying, for it fills up your inbox and then later wastes your time in deleting the spam messages. A spam sent through instant messaging devices is called a spam, while a spam sent through internet telephony is called a split. Spam messages can be reduced, if not prevented, by adjusting the built-in settings in your emails to delete spam automatically. Here are some of them. Outlook Express has in its setup that can block messages from a particular sender or subject. Email filtering can also be done by signing up in your internet service provider. It blocks unwanted email messages from designated sources. Anti-spam program. Block these unwanted messages before it reaches to your inbox. The only disadvantage of anti-spam and email filtering is that sometimes it blocks and removes valid or legal email messages. The second one is the phishing, also called as carding or spoofing. It is a scam in which an agent sends a legitimate-looking email that attempts to steal personal and financial information, including bank account numbers of the recipient. The third one is the malware. It is a malicious software that causes harm to one or more computers. It enters to the scene when an attachment to a message that carries a virus is opened and then later shared to other computers via network or via portable storage such as CD, external hard drive, flash drive, and etc. And the last one is the adware. It is a software that incorporates the presentation of advertisement as condition for operating the software. That completes the ethical issues in technology and software. Again, namely, number one is the unauthorized access and use of hardware, software, network, and computer files. Second is the hardware theft and vandalism. Third one is the software theft. The fourth one is the information theft. And the last one is the malicious acts in software. Now, let's move on to the next subtopic, which is the acceptable and unacceptable uses of school technology. Schools may have different rules and regulations or policies in implementing acceptable and unacceptable use of school technology. It is important to set these policies so everyone in school, administrators, academic officials, teachers, staff, and students may be guided and act accordingly in the proper use of school technologies. Here are the examples of acceptable uses of school technologies. On top of that is abiding the policies and procedures of other networks that are accessed. The second one is being polite and using appropriate language. The third one is deleting unwanted messages or old data from computers and servers. Next one is enforcing appropriate use and reporting misuse of security issues. Next is running antivirus software on downloaded files, attachments, peripherals, or disks. Next is signing correspondence. Next one is using online time efficiently, and the last one is using internet ethically and legally. So now here are the examples of unacceptable use of school technology. The first one there is altering software by deleting files, downloading programs, or copying or installing unauthorized files or programs. The second one is assuming the identity or using the passwords or materials of another. The third one is conducting commercial activities, advertising products, or taking part in political lobbying. The fourth one is downloading text, graphics, or software, or engaging in behaviors that may be considered obscene, abusive, libelous, indecent, vulgar, profane, or lewd. The next one is gaining access to any pay-per-view site. Next is giving out your own or others' private information such as address, phone number, or passwords. Harassing an individual using the internet, plagiarizing, transmitting material that violates any local or country's regulations such as copyrighted, threatening, or obscene material. And the last one is vandalizing equipment, digital files, or willfully spreading computer viruses. We people really need to be knowledgeable enough about this ethical use of technology and software to avoid any future problems that might harm ourselves and people around us. By that said, that concludes our report in Chapter 8, Legal and Ethical Use of Technology.